Hello and welcome to the Divorce to Bliss podcast. Here you will learn all things related to healing from divorce, mind, body, and spirit, so you can create a beautiful new life filled with happiness. I'm Rachel Ruby, author of Divorce to Bliss, divorce coach, speaker, and attorney, and I'm so glad you found me here. Hello and welcome. This episode is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk all about healing rituals, things you can do every day to help you as you are going through healing from divorce. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into our spirituality. If you've been a guest before, you know I always talk about the trifecta when healing, which is mind, body, and spirit. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And if that scares you or makes you feel uncomfortable, don't let it, because we are all spiritual beings and we need to be in touch with that in order to heal as part of the healing process. My guest today is the incomparable Lemia Astarabadi. I love chatting with smart, incredible women who understand healing and self-discovery and do amazing things for the planet. And she definitely checks the boxes tenfold. In fact, she's proof that we can be spiritual beings and be in touch with our spirituality and also live in this modern world. And in my opinion, that is the way to be your best and highest self. So let me tell you a little bit about Lemia. She's a board certified holistic health practitioner, a master aromatherapist, yoga instructor, energy worker, certified birth doula, singer, songwriter, and percussionist, and a kindergarten through 8th grade teacher with a master's degree in education. Wow, that's pretty incredible. Lemia uses her diverse background to help people heal. Welcome, Lemia. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for taking the time to talk about all of this. As you said at the very beginning, we are spiritual beings. And, I look at reality as like 1% is the physical world that we live in, and 99% is the spiritual aspect of who we are. So it's good that we spend a little bit of time talking about that.
I agree. And I think, I've talked to many people. And some people they don't understand what that means really. So I love kind of diving into these spiritual topics without, going too deep where it's uncomfortable, but kind of teaching and giving an introductory education into it, because I find that a lot of people get excited about it then.
Absolutely. And it's who we are. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience, and we've forgotten about that. We wear these shoes that keep us disconnected from the earth. We have jobs and are in cars and have created all this, reality that wasn't there when early man was there. It was just us. So it's a way to, when we talk about these things, it's like in our minds, we reconnect to our origin, who we really are. When you can get past the fears of discovering who you really are and nurturing and embracing who you really are, then it's a whole journey into your own self-discovery and healing.
Yeah. And I mean, that is the key to healing, is discovering who you are, especially coming out of a divorce, because in a divorce, we're this union, and then all of a sudden here you are. And a lot of people just get stuck. So we're actually going to talk about three different parts of this today. One is breath work and hand postures, and then using the voice and mantras, and plants and nature. So I'm excited to dive right in. Let's start with the breath work and hand postures. I know for a fact that I could not have gotten through my own healing journey from divorce to bliss without breath work. I mean, huge game changer. So can you tell us why breath work is so important when you're going through a trauma like divorce or healing from divorce, and how someone unfamiliar with it can get started by using simple breathing exercises?
Absolutely. And I want everyone to know, I haven't been divorced, but I have been in really long-term relationships that didn't work out. I was actually afraid of getting married. So that helped me in part of my life. But my husband has his parents have been divorced 4 and 5 times. So divorce is a part of our language. It's part of something we talk about. And so I want to give, an honest explanation of my background so that you know where I'm coming from. But I do have the background of coming from sexual abuse. So there's a familiarity between the two because they have to do with family dynamic, and they have to do with moving past somebody that you loved a lot, and having to take your power back and really live your life for your own journey and not for everybody else around you. So I think that there are some tying, links there. So I just want to give some credibility there and let you know where I'm coming from.
Wonderful.
But
thank you.
Breath is the master of our mind. And the mind sits in our head, which is on top of our whole body for a reason. It's like Creator is saying, hey, pay attention to this. This is at the top. This is the CEO of your whole being. So if we are not taking care of our mind through the breath, then it's going back and forth. We have 2 hemispheres of the brain that actually were combined as one hemisphere when we were born, but it was our first trauma that caused the wall to happen to split the brain. I've talked to many neuroscientists and brain specialists about this. So it's trauma in our lives that cause the duality that we see, to where we pull back and forth. Am I spiritual? Am I physical? Am I wanting to stay with this person or not stay with this person? So it's coming back to that origin of who we are, of that light within us that we can gain through the breath. Because breath, when we breathe in through our nostrils, we have spiritual nerves in our nose that go through our spine, connect in our spine to all the organs, and end in our hands and our feet and our navel. So using our hands is so important with the breath work because we're activating the nervous system. And the nervous system is the bridge between our spiritual self and our physical self. It's kind of like how light moves through us is through our nervous system. So as we breathe through our nostrils specifically, we bring in oxygen, which has partly, the physical elements of oxygen, but it also has prana, which is life force. That first breath that we have when we're born, we take a deep breath and then we cry. We open our hands, and that's how our nails are formed from this condensed sunlight. It's prana from the air that we're breathing. So there's like God energy in the air that we're breathing. And oxygen. The oxygen helps the physical brain. The God energy helps our nervous system and helps that link between us and our higher self. So as you start to deepen your breath, you deepen your perceptions and your perspective on your life, and you bring in that light energy that helps you move past your obstacles. So just even simply lengthening your breath, sitting still, focusing from the belly up, expanding your belly first, into your ribs and then to your upper chest for the full inhale, holding the breath for a second, exhaling from the top down from the upper chest, relaxing the ribs and drawing the belly in. Just doing that for like a minute will change your whole perspective on what you're going through in your life. And sometimes we're just so, we're upset. We got triggered by something, someone called or you got an email or you saw something, a picture on the internet or something can trigger you like that. And you can go to your breath and you can ground yourself and you can move past that instead of having to wallow over it for the whole day. So breath is something that's free. It's natural to us. It's part of our human being. And it's a bridge between us and our higher self so that we can clear negativity and move into that positive mind and make positive choices for ourselves instead of getting stuck into another loop of trauma.
Right.
Which can come with one little trigger. And I know that as well as you guys know that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I love that. And that's really interesting to hear all about the neuroscientific part of that. And just like you said, a reminder of, breath is automatic, but many of us don't think about it a lot of the time, especially when we're being triggered or when we're really busy or when we just, we're running around and we just don't stop to pause and just kind of take it in. And it does. I think personally for me, it gives me an instant kind of calm down and I just stop and I just do what you said, where I take it in and hold it for a couple seconds and then slowly let it out and take it in for 2 and let it out for 4 type of thing. And it's really wonderful to bring you back down. If for someone who's not really familiar with breath work and even, meditation, which a lot of people don't understand that, aside from just the exercises where we take it in and then we let it out, is there anything else you can think of that would help someone to really be more in tune with their breath?
Yeah. Breath, the way that we can really help the mind and help ourselves, help our body too physically, is by creating rhythm. Life is about rhythm. Everything, even our heartbeat, is in a rhythm all the time. And what happens when we get upset or we're in the trauma response, we tend to breathe really shallow and really fast and irrhythmically. So creating a rhythm, and that's something we're going to practice in this segment. We're going to do a little bit of breath work, but creating rhythm and a certain amount of numbers, and that's a whole science, like the numerology part of it, and how you breathe and how you inhale and exhale, and from the nose or from the mouth, and inhaling through the nose or exhaling through the nose or whatever. Everything it's a scientific study, really. But bringing rhythm to your breath will help bring rhythm into your life. And it's people say all the time, when you're upset, before you respond to someone, take 3 deep breaths. That is rhythm in itself. You've created a number 3, which has meaning and spiritual significance to it. But you're bringing that into your breath practice, and you're consciously doing it. So rhythm is a big part of it. How deep you breathe is a big part of it. And your intention, sitting while you're breathing and visualizing. And there's different types of meditation. Some meditations are just about breath work, just sitting quietly, closing your eyes and breathing. They say that kind of meditation is the best thing to do when you have like overactive adrenals or kidney issues, like meaning you're overstressed, you're overworked, maybe you have kids and you've got a schedule and you never have time to sit down for yourself. Quiet, silent meditation is the best thing to do. Otherwise, sound meditation is very amazing for changing the way that you think. And there's different sounds to do that. We also mentioned, as you're breathing, you're working with your hands. Breath and hands kind of work together. So think of like the breath is working with the mind and helping, with rhythm, helping to kind of organize our thoughts and structure our thoughts so that they're not scattered and they're not all over the place, but we can maintain this peaceful kind of inner control, although nothing can be controlled in life. We have more control of ourselves. And actually, technically, they say if you can breathe 1 breath per minute, meaning you're inhaling, holding the breath, and exhaling all within 60 seconds. And that's all day long. So you could be exercising, you could be walking, you could be doing your work, whatever. You're keeping that 1 breath per minute. That's when you have complete control over your life. So people that, want to, they say, I'm out of control. Slowing your breath to 1 breath per minute actually helps you have complete control over your life. That's what they say.
You gave me something to aspire to now.
Why do you think they're sitting on the hill in the Himalayas doing
Exactly.
They don't control their destiny. Obviously, they don't have the stresses and things that we have.
Right.
But that's what it's all about. And then your hands are the extension of your heart. So think of like yourself in these 3 levels. We have the head, we have the heart and the hands, and then we have the gut and the legs and the feet. So this is kind of the higher world. This is what's in control of our life. Our heart is what will make or break our reality. So how we feel is so important, and our hands actually can affect how we feel, our feelings. We have our emotions, which is our energy in motion, and then we have our feelings. When we tie our emotions to an element, let's say something hot or cold or happy or sad, then we have a feeling. So emotions are energy. It's like how our energy is moving. And when we use our hands, we can actually kind of hire and fire energies with our fingers. So we hire in positive energies and we can get rid of or distribute out negative energies with our hands.
So can we do maybe an exercise with the breathing and the hands? Because I'd love to. Yeah.
So first of all, I'm thinking, emotions and divorce and relationships and all of that. So the heart, working on the heart. And actually it's a hand posture that can help to stop a heart attack. So if you have someone in your life that's going through a heart attack, you can put their hands in this posture and get them to a hospital fast. Take your index finger and bring it down to the base of your thumb. This is the air elements. These are all elements in our hands, and we're decreasing when we bring it down. So we're decreasing the air, which has to do with our mind. So we're calming down our thoughts. Bring your thumb kind of over your index finger, and then touch the middle 2 fingertips to the thumb tip. And then extend both the middle 2 are touching, and then extend the pinky straight. This is the heart meridian in Chinese medicine. So each finger has reflex points, has meridians, has to do with the whole body. So this is a way to work on the heart. And then I bring it on my knees face up and relax your body, relax your shoulders down. And we're just going to focus on the exhale. This is, there's so many names for it, but this is like a releasing, healing breath that lets go of whatever negativity, whatever happened before you came here, whatever you've gone through that you want to let go of, or just letting go of toxins in the body. It's really good detoxifier as well. I like to start with this in the beginning of the day just to release whatever it is that needs to leave my body, and then I can bring in the newness of that day. So you sit up nice and tall, and we're going to exhale, draw the navel in. So it's, and then you hold that, excuse me, the navel in as long as you can before you release it. As you release it, the inhale will come naturally. You never are thinking about the inhale. You're focusing on the exhale. This is a way, again, of letting go, letting go, letting go. And they say when we exhale, we are our strongest. So this is a way to bring yourself a lot of strength. And it's kind of hard to think, like, how am I strongest when I'm exhaling, when I have breath, when I'm inhaling? If you think of someone like punching you in the gut, not that that should happen, but if you have no breath, you're strong, right? Your core is strong and you're able to handle it. If you have breath, they knock the breath out of you and you're weak. So just think of, like, your strength comes from your exhale. In life, strength comes from letting go, surrendering, and not holding on, right? Holding on, and it creates weakness in the body and in the emotions. So it's going to be rhythmic, and it sounds like this. So we're going to exhale, release, exhale, release, exhale, release, exhale, release. Close your eyes. Exhale, release, exhale, release, exhale, release, exhale, release. Exhale, release, exhale, release, exhale, release. Now take a deep breath through your nose. Inhale some more. Hold the breath, and now squeeze your rectum tight. Draw your sex organs in and your navel in, so that whole bottom part of your body is squeezing tight. Press your tongue against the upper palate. It's allowing the breath to integrate in your body. And then gently exhale through your nose and release all those locks. And then inhale and stretch your arms above you. Hold the breath, shake it out, and exhale. When I use hand postures, I like to shake out my hands. I mean, I would have done that for 3 minutes, and I would have done it to music, so you have a beat that's working for you. That's why my husband and I do live music for breath work and for meditation specifically. But you want to give yourself time to do that. And then you always at the end, so you do whatever the breath is, you do it for, let's say, our formula is either 1 minute at the least. 3 minutes is usually a standard time. And you could go up to 7 or 11 minutes. So these numbers are very simple. 1, 3, 7, 11. Yeah. And then you could do 31, 62. So there's larger, amounts of time. Okay. But just starting with a 1 minute or 3 minute, you'll notice you completely shift. I don't even think we did a minute. But that's a releasing breath. So another thing that I would suggest, rub your hands together, take a deep breath. Hold the breath. It charges the hands a little bit, gets some heat in the hands, and then exhale, bring your hands onto your heart, just the center of your chest. The first thing I like to do too, even before the breath of glow, or one of the two, either the breath of glow with the one we just did or this, is that it's an expansion breath. So it's a way to expand your chest, your lungs, and it helps you expand your mind. So we get stuck in this, thinking about one thing and focusing on one thing, and it can destroy our whole day, week, month life, and we have to let that go, because that one thing that's bothering us is so insignificant to the wonderful world and reality and joyful life that we have in front of us, right? So we have to let those things go. So Well, just take a deep breath through your nose. Focus on your chest. Hold the breath. Relax your shoulders. Keep your eyes open this time and smile. And while we're holding the breath, smiling, we're bringing this positive energy in. Then inhale some more. Inhale some more. Inhale some more. So you're holding the breath, and now we're stretching the lungs. Inhale some more. Where you feel like there's no room in there, inhale more. I'm talking so I can take big sips, but if you have big sips, you're not holding your breath. Inhale more. Inhale more. Inhale more. One more time, hold. Squeeze your rectum, hold that breath, try to relax your shoulders, smile, all these things at the same time, and then exhale through your nose. And take a breath. So what I would do for 45 seconds, I'd put the timer on, take a deep breath, and just keep inhaling, trying to stretch your lungs. As we get older, this is the other thing, as we get older, our lungs capacity gets less and they get like more rigid, our lungs. Mm-hmm. This is a way that we stretch our body so that we can stay, flexible. But what about our lungs? We have to stretch our lungs too. So that's a way to stretch your lungs. Nice. And it gets you into a greater perspective. So our breath is the king of the mind. If we're breathing small, this is our perspective of our life. We expand our lungs. We can now see, oh my gosh, there's a whole world out there. Why am I upset about this person when I've got like 1 billion people in front of me that want to be in my presence, So it gives us a different perspective. It helps us move past that situation and breathe deeper too.
That's fantastic.
We have a lot of lung stuff, especially if you're dealing with old COVID residue. It really helps that. And so does that first breath. The exhaling breath is really good, healing the lungs.
Those are great. Those are fantastic. I really, I do the, this with the heart, and I'm going to now incorporate the breath with that too, because that is, I do, but not in that way. So this is a new fun thing for me too, that I'm going to start doing. I love that idea of expanding the lungs. And
take your nail beds. One little thing I want to do with your hands. Take your nail beds, all your nails except for your thumbs, and you're actually hearing the hard part of the nails moving. So you're going to do this for maybe, and the thumbs have to do with fire. It's too much fire when you add them in here. That's why we're not doing that. We'll do this for anywhere between 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And this is a great way to charge your hands before you put them into a mudra or a hand posture. That's for healing the body. So now bring the hands about, 6 inches apart. Relax your fingers. Do you feel tingly sensation in your hands?
Yeah.
So if you do it longer, you'll feel it stronger. Yeah. But people say all the time, I'm afraid of energy. I don't know what energy is. I don't know what you're talking about. That's all it is. Yeah. This is condensed sunlight, the prana that happens at birth. And we're able to access it when we stimulate it. And then we feel all those nerve endings and all those meridians start to open, respond to that. Then we put our hands in the hand posture and we receive that. So the more we work with our hands, the more we our energy and motion, our emotions, which affect
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Those are some great starting points. And I know at the end of the podcast, we're going to put your contact information up, because I'm sure you have a ton more and you can really tailor it specifically to what someone needs. So, so that's a great starting point, all three of those. And let's talk a little bit about using the voice and mantras. I know there are so many ways to use the voice when we're healing. I've always said that it is so important to do so. And I'm a big mantra fanatic as well. So how does one use the voice to heal?
So we've been talking about, these different planes of our being. Between the head, the mind, and the heart is the throat chakra. So this is the bridge between how we feel and how we think. So when we want these two to be in alignment, we use our voice. And when they're not in alignment, you can tell by the ways people speak. When people are talking down about other people or gossiping, you can tell that there isn't an alignment between love and their thinking. Right. So we want to merge these two things so that what we say is what we want to create. We're not creating a reality that we don't desire. Because that's what we tend to do. I tell my mom this, my 80-year-old mom, I'm a caregiver for, and she's always like, I'm not balanced. I'm not strong. I'm like, Mom, we're perpetuating that by saying it. So we have to say what we want.
Exactly. I've always said that. Yeah.
You want to be out of that misery. You start talking yourself out of it. I'm strong. I'm amazing. If you want to get in shape, I'm a whatever it is you want to be. Like, you have to say it, right? So mantra is just affirming that, but in language that works as reflexology for the brain. So the tongue and the upper palate, the way that they work, it's kind of like that song, like Knocking on Heaven's Door. When our tongue does certain things on different parts of the upper palate, there's chakras on our whole upper palate, it's able to unlock different parts of our consciousness. And mantras have also been historically used like since the beginning of time. So when you tap into an ancient mantra, you're tapping into everyone that chanted that mantra and all the healing that they had, like all the different stories. That means you have access to that healing as well. So if someone used a mantra and it protected them from an accident, and you use that mantra, it can also protect you from an accident. So whatever's happened with those mantras before, when you tap into them, it's all those benefits come to you. So not only are you stimulating your brain, you're changing your brain waves, you're changing your breath because it takes breath to create sound. So you're already working on your mind as well. You're bridging your heart and your mind together. So you're bringing love into your voice and you're bringing strength to your voice so that your prayers, your words actually impact people and go straight into their heart deeper because you're working on bringing a love frequency to your sound. So I'd like to combine breath and sound. I told my husband was going to come and play music and I'm like, let's not make it so complicated this morning. There's a way to do it. So if we get back into that, actually, let me teach you one more mudra. Bring your hand half a prayer at your heart. So just like this. And then bring your other hand on your solar plexus. So it's just flat against your solar plexus underneath. So if this is my solar plexus, it looks like this. I'm down here. This is a way to center your brain, center your emotions, and calm yourself. So just sitting like this, closing your eyes and breathing will help bring you back into your center. We're going to use the words I am, which is a way to strengthen that bond between yourself and your spiritual self, your physical self and higher self. Connect you to your truth, connect you to the source of all creation, and open your heart. So it's four sips in. So in those 4 sips, you get a full breath. So it's like belly, ribs, upper chest. You're full with breath. And then you say, I am, I am, I am, I am. And that's it. And we can just keep doing that. And we'll do it just for a minute, let's say.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. I am, I am, I am, I am. 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 Last time. I am, I am, I am, I am. Take a deep breath through the nose. Hold the breath, squeeze the rectum, tighten the sex organs, draw the navel in and up. Press the tongue against the upper palate. Just hold still, integrate that sound and that breath, and then exhale and relax. And just bring your palms face up on your knees. And you can just feel that opening, whatever that does.
Yeah, opening, clearing. Yeah.
And the time frames do different things to the brain. If you want to actually change the brain, you have to start working from 3 minutes on. So that starts to work on the matter of your brain and shifting your brain waves.
Okay.
When you get to 11 minutes, which is what we do, a lot of our mantras online, when you go see them, they're like at least 11 minutes long. That's where you start to work on the gray matter of your brain. So you actually shift your physical brain so that you're not stuck in those old patterns, because they literally embed themselves in your physical being, and you tend to repeat them and draw in the same experiences. So you want to shift your brain so that you can bring in new experiences.
Right, right. So, okay, so I have a question. So I know when I was going through my healing journey, I used a lot of mantras, actually specific mantras for myself that I needed. Like I am strong, I am brave. So what was that?
Affirmations.
Affirmations. Yeah. So is that something that you advise as well? Okay. So yeah. So I do too. And they can change too on a daily basis. So for someone who's maybe in the victim state and is going through this healing and is trying to figure out how to start or what to do next. I mean, how do they know what the right mantras are, the right affirmations are for themselves?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
When we're first starting, the first thing I would do is just saying those affirmations are really powerful. And you can buy those little things like that you can put on your wall. That's like, be happy, live joyfully, all those things.
Yes.
Create your own from that. But you can wake up and say, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, I'm bringing in and calling in my highest and greatest good. And today is the best day of my life. And just leave your house like that. Just saying that, you've already set the tone.
Yeah.
And it's not a mantra, but
it's a gratitude expression. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's claiming it and stating it like, this is it. This is my life and this is my day. And you direct where things go.
Yeah. And that's how I start. And that's how I start my day every day too. So that's, it's a wonderful. Wonderful.
I also will call in and, for those that are open to using the help that they have around them, we have guardian angels and guides. No matter what religious or spiritual belief that you have, everybody talks about our higher help. So I like to call in from the beginning of the day, angels, guardian angels, guides, be with me and help guide me towards my highest and greatest good. That is so simple. And the light permission to come into our lives. The dark is always there saying you're not this and you're not that and you're a failure and you shouldn't even get out of bed. But to have the light come in and envelop us with joy and beauty and health, we have to ask it because it cares about our free will. So you have to invite in what you want, because the other side will always be there trying to bring you down and the old cycles again.
The push and pull, and you have to, I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that great kind of introduction into how we can use our voice in conjunction with the breath and the mantras, the affirmations. It's really, really helpful. Let's talk about, I know one of your favorite things, which is plants and nature and your aromatherapy background. And let's kind of maybe just give us an introduction into essential oils and aromatherapy and how that can help also when you're healing.
Absolutely. You mentioned, you tried our lavender and it was powerful. And this is the cool thing is that essential oils have been used since ancient Egypt. Like, it's just, we always had nature around us. And the first stills were actually invented like a long time ago. Like, ancient civilization was using this as medicine. So when we talk about, it's this new age thing, it's so not a new age thing. Actually, everything we're talking about is ancient, but we're waking up to the fact that we've gotten so far away from who we really are that we have to
find
a fearful person, and you're afraid of, using something that's so powerful that it's going to transform your life, then using the things that are watered down and chemically modified might be your path. But if you're ready for, the truth and the path of like your highest and greatest good, you got to go with pure nature. So you have to look for certified organic or wild harvested. That's the key. It's really nice when it's not machine poured. Everything we do is hand poured because like we cook, we're putting your love into it when you touch it.
You can feel it.
And do all our labels. Everything's hand done. We have chosen not to go to that big scale for a reason, because we want it to be medicine. So yes, it's powerful, and a little goes a long way. I have people that I put one drop in their hand and they're just like, heart, I feel a shift. And they're meant to be, the way we teach them in our trainings and our courses is meant to be embraced as, yes, it has a physical, it works on your kidneys, but it also is protective and helps with your fear. So it's looking at both sides, because we are holistic and plants are just like us. We're holistic things, and it addresses everything. The other thing to know is that whatever plant you have is what you need. So all adaptogenic. So let's say you only have lavender and you have all these ailments, because you're using your intention and your voice and you're calling in, I like to intend to use this for my kidneys, and I'm asking for the help between the plants and my higher self to work together. Help me with this. This is all I've got. It will formulate and work with you. Like they are living beings. So they modify themselves.
Can you can you consult with someone who is, maybe going through this healing process or just starting the journey and wanting to know, what essential oils would be best for me? I mean, I know that just personally, because I know myself, that when I put some even on my skin or in a diffuser, it changes my whole mood. So can you, for someone who doesn't know this or hasn't used them before, do you do consultations where you can help them find the ones that might be great for them if they're willing to, just go out, they're just starting to discover and figure out what to purchase?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
The other thing we created on our website is a little search engine, because we put the benefits on there. So you can put up
nice.
adrenals, or you can put up fear or heart healing, and it'll give you a bunch of options. The thing I want to say about the plants is there's something called the Schumann resonance. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's basically the frequency between the crust of the earth and, let's say, the tallest tree. It's called the ionosphere. It's like this atmosphere part of the earth. It's called it holds a vibration, a frequency called the Schumann resonance. And what they've realized is the Schumann resonance it's equal to what our vibration of our brain is when it's in complete harmony. And that's where nature is. It's like where all the plants, all the trees live there. So just walking into a forest or going to the beach or going somewhere where it's just nature, you're going to be in that Schumann resonance. It's going to totally adjust and change and shift your brain waves to be
100%. 100%. And I
have an essence. You can just go for a walk in nature. Yep. And I say that because I'm not a salesperson. I want healing. So if you can't afford aromatherapy, fine. Just go every day and put your spine next to a tree and talk to that tree, because it's alive.
I talk about that a lot as well. And you take your shoes off and walk barefoot in the dirt and on the ground and connect and lay on the grass and look up the sky. I mean, so many things you can do. And I always tell people, if they don't have access for whatever reason or at work and they're feeling really down, they can always close their eyes and imagine, and visualize being there.
Go anywhere you want in your mind.
And go anywhere you want. So we're always free, no matter, even if we're trapped, we're free up here.
I did bring three that I just want to introduce.
Oh, okay.
White cedar, and you can't smell it, but I'll anoint and you can see. White cedar, they say our ancestors live in these trees. So really helps us to move past challenges that we have. And I would use, just put some on your heart. You can always use your neck or your wrist, because that's where our major veins and arteries are, to get it into your bloodstream. But just to reconnect with your spirit, white cedar is amazing. It's known as the tree of life. Hyssop is an energy of forgiveness. And this is the key
good one.
To past divorce, healing, abuse, whatever it is forgiveness, because holding on is only hurting you, right? And that can go on your liver, which is underneath your rib cage. You just do that whole area, because we hold in anger and all that resentment in our liver. And then the last one, rhododendron, helps to guide you towards your spirit family. So those beings and people and situations that support you in moving forward and being your best self and having your best life. It's like an energetic calling in of all the people, the resources, everything you need to live your best life. And it really works amazingly. People have had these miracle stories where they used it and they went for a hike and they got introduced to somebody and like their whole life shifted. And not to expect that, but
right.
The plant does when it's needed and when there needs to be intervention. So
why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you to get more information on any of these topics?
Absolutely. The umbrella company is Rama, R-A-M-A, Holistic Care. 3 words, Rama Holistic Care. RamaHolisticCare.com is our website. And from there, you can find The Conscious Groove, 3 words, not just Conscious Groove, because there is a Conscious Groove that does a lot of different kind of music, let's say. But they're really nice people. But the is us, The Conscious Groove. And then the aromatherapy is called Sacred Sense Aromatherapy.
Wonderful.
So any of these places, they're all websites. We're on all social media platforms. And we have a weekly newsletter we put out for the last 17 years, every single week. We've never missed a week. And it's so rich. It has essence protocols. It talks about numerology. It talks about breath work and mantras, and doula work and everything. So every month it's
wonderful.
updated. So if you want to get on that, go to our website and just join our newsletter.
Fantastic. So lots more ways to dive deeper into all of this and some other things as well. Thank you so much for being here. This has been so informative, interesting, and I'm excited now because I'm going to get some of that rhododendron. But it's been a pleasure having you, and really appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for your time, and thanks for opening everyone's hearts to this part of us that's so important and so crucial. And I just pray for all of you to have healing and to move past whatever it is you're going through. And you are strong enough, and we're with you. You have a team of light with you. So just want
Thank you.